name is Nikita. I'm one of Melbourne Hand Therapy's newest therapists. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself and my professional life. I initially graduated from the Auckland University of Technology in 2015 with a Bachelor of Health Science and Occupational Therapy. After I graduated, I was lucky enough to work in Auckland in two of the largest public hospitals as an occupational therapist in the acute medical, stroke and trauma wards. I loved it, and it is where my initial interest in upper limb therapy came from. From there, I made the move to Melbourne after being offered a role working in the community and aged care sector. My youngest client was 3 and my oldest was 105, and it was the most rewarding job. I learnt so much. I got to work with different age groups, and I learnt a lot about disability, neurological conditions and upper limb conditions. At the same time, I also worked at one of Melbourne's main hospitals, carrying out neurological assessments and equipment prescription. Unfortunately, in early 2020, when COVID hit, I made the difficult decision to move back home to New Zealand. It was a crazy time for everybody, as we all know, but it was when I was back in New Zealand that I made the decision to transition into hand therapy. I spent 18 months working in a private practice hand therapy clinic while also completing my postgraduate certificate in health science and rehabilitation. This role involved working alongside one of New Zealand's lead hand, wrist and elbow surgeons, Michael Boland. It was with Michael where I was really honoured by the skills and training in treating acute, chronic and post-operative conditions. Now that I'm back in Melbourne, I'm with Melbourne Hand Therapy, and I could not be grateful or lucky enough to be here. A little bit about me: I love meeting people and having a chat. For me, being an OT is an incredibly rewarding role because it allows me to be with people, problem solve and make a difference in people's lives. I love building a relationship with my patients and personalising their care and goals to help them get the best outcome as possible. A little bit about my studies. I completed a Bachelor of Health Science and Occupational Therapy at the Auckland University of Technology, AUT, in 2015. And I recently completed my postgraduate certificate in health science and rehabilitation. This involved developing skills in rehabilitation, goal setting and hand and upper limb therapy. Since qualifying as occupational therapist, I've completed multiple courses in different areas. Most recently, I completed courses that focused on upper limb, including splinting and casting upper limb conditions. These courses involve static, progressive and dynamic splinting. I love that everyone at Melbourne Hand Therapy has been so friendly and welcoming. I'm so grateful to be working alongside so many skilled and experienced therapists. As a therapist, I am very determined and driven, and I'm a strong believer in giving everything 100%. So I try to do this in all aspects of my life as a therapist and in my personal life. When I'm not at work, I like to spend time with my friends and being a tourist and exploring Melbourne and going for walks and taking in nature. And most of all, I love enjoying all the delicious food in Melbourne and just taking it all in.